afternoon and welcome to the Rundown. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and here are some of your top stories for the 11th of November. Trump purges top Pentagon leadership, something that all Americans should be alarmed about. And Texas becomes the first state to hit 1 million COVID cases. Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis moves to allow citizens to shoot looters and rioters who are targeting businesses. Critics argue that the law would allow for armed citizens to become vigilantes. And the New York Times shuts down Trump with an epic front-page banner. Election officials fine nationwide. No fraud. And Chaka Khan jokes that she's a hermit amidst the coronavirus pandemic. I am Chaka Isolation Khan. I've been successful at being able to come home and hang Chaka Khan in a closet and come out Nana. And I love it, the music icon says. Let's get to the news. President Donald Trump made wholesale changes in the Pentagon's top civilian leadership, a purge that began with the firing of Defense Secretary Mark Esper and continued Tuesday through the senior ranks. The top 3 senior officials resigned on Tuesday, including the undersecretaries for Policy and Intelligence. Esper's chief of staff also resigned. The move sparked concern on Capitol Hill that perceived instability at the Pentagon and could embolden U.S. adversaries during the presidential transition. James Anderson, the acting Undersecretary for Policy, says that the Pentagon's number 3 spot resigned on Tuesday and was replaced by Anthony Tata, a retired Army general who once called the former President Barack Obama a terrorist leader. Tata had withdrew his name from the Pentagon's post in August before facing a contentious confirmation hearing in the Senate. He was then placed in another job that did not require a hearing. The chairman of the Armed Services Committee, Representative Adam Smith, called the changes alarming. It is hard to overstate just how dangerous high-level turnover at the Department of Defense is during a period of presidential transition, Smith said in a statement. The top policy professionals in the department resigning the day after the Secretary of Defense was fired could mark the beginning of a process of gutting the DoD. Something that should alarm all Americans. If this is the beginning of a trend, the president either firing or forcing out the national security professionals in order to replace them with people perceived as more loyal to him, then the next 70 days will be precarious at the best and downright dangerous at worst. Also on Tuesday, the Undersecretary of Defense Intelligence, Joseph Carnan, and Esper, the former Chief of Staff, Jane Stewart, resigned. On Monday, Trump fired Esper on Twitter and replaced him with the acting Defense Secretary, Christopher Miller. Texas has become the first state in the United States to record 1 million coronavirus cases, according to data from the Johns Hopkins University. The Lone Star State has identified over 1,010,364 coronavirus cases since the pandemic began, with at least 19,337 people have died, according to the university. California has the second highest number of cases in the U.S. with 989,432. If Texas, which has a population of about 29 million people, were its own country, it would now be ranked 10th in the terms of totals identified cases of COVID-19. Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis has drafted an anti-mob legislation that would expand the state's stand your ground law, a move that some worry would allow citizens to shoot and potentially kill anyone they suspected of looting. DeSantis' newest legislation comes in response 2 months of protesting that frequently led to rioting this summer in Florida and across the U.S. Following the death of George Floyd, the black man who, while in Minneapolis police custody, had a police officer kneel on his neck for nearly 9 minutes. The legislation is an attempt to prevent violence and disorder assemblies by permitting violence against anyone involved in the interruption or impalement of a business, reportedly described in the draft as being a burglar within 500 feet of a violent or disorderly assembly, according to reports from the Miami Herald on Tuesday. It allows for vigilantes to justify their actions. A former Miami-Dade prosecutor who has worked with stand your ground cases told the Miami publication that it also allows for death to be the punishment for property crime, and that is cruel and unusual punishment. We cannot live in a lawless society where taking a life is done so casually and recklessly. The draft legislation also includes measures that would make protesting, which disrupts the public by blocking traffic, a third-degree felony. The law would also reportedly grant immunity to drivers who unintentionally kill or injure protesters who are blocking traffic. Additionally, the law would allow the state to withhold funds from local governments that cut police budgets. Election officials in dozens of states representing both political parties say that there's no evidence that fraud or other irregularities played a role in the outcome of the presidential race, amounting to a forceful rebuke of President Trump's portrait of a fraudulent election. Over the past several days, the president and members of his administration, congressional Republicans, and right-wing allies have put forth a false claim that the election was stolen from Mr. Trump and have refused to accept the results that show that Joseph R. Biden Jr. as the winner. But top election officials across the country say in interviews and statements that the process had been a remarkable success despite the record turnout and the complications of a dangerous pandemic. Hey, this is Captivating Christian here to remind you to tune in to Politics and Wellness every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Politics and Wellness every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Even through trying times, Chaka Khan has a sense of humor. On Tuesday, the legendary musician, age 67, shared a clip on her Instagram discussing how she's been adjusting to the social distancing and isolation amidst the coronavirus pandemic. Though it's unclear whom she's speaking to, Chaka Khan hilariously joked about how she's already naturally reclusive. She says, and I quote, "I'm a hermit and great at it. I'm already just great at this. I can isolate I'm Chaka Khan, Isolation Khan." And be sure to join Jay Wilson, Rebel Son, The Official Kingpin, Conscious TV, and Captivating Christian this and every Thursday at 6:45 Central Standard Time, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time for the Gentleman's Panel, where we are not afraid to go there and discuss an array of topics. See you there. Once again, thank you for watching CCN Midday News. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also hit that notification button so you will never miss another news update. Have a great day. Peace.